Welcome in and welcome back to the Down South Philly Show. And this show is brought to you by none other than the Sports Lounge Media and the Diamond Collective. So make sure you go and subscribe to the Down South Philly Show. Matter of fact, before you even do that, go on over to the Sports Lounge Media. Follow the Down South Philly Show. Follow Sports with Sunshine. Follow Sports Lounge, SLM Bets. And you can't forget about the Marshall Experience. That's everything that's on the network. Oh, can't forget about Ken's Pats Talks. Those are everything that's on the network. If I'm leaving anything out, you'll see it when you go to the Sports Lounge Media. Please and thank you. How y'all feeling this week? I ain't seen y'all since last week. Not much is going on, but we are closer to football season. Thank God. Thank God we are so much closer to football, right? So it's right around the corner. As a matter of fact, I think we got the Hall of Fame game on the 31st. So if you really desperate for some football, we got football in 2 days. So thank God for that. As far as Birds news is concerned, obviously the Birds reported was good. Bagel, how you feeling? How you feeling? As far as Birds news is concerned, obviously we know that they reported to camp on the 23rd, July 23rd. So all of last week. I didn't so here's my philosophy on camp in general. I take all the camp news with a grain of salt. One, because they not in full pads. It's only so much that you can do in a contact sport without contact, right? So as far as I'm concerned, if you're in pads, if you're in shorts and a helmet or shorts and shoulder pads, that's not really football. So you can look amazing out there and then not really uh translate to the regular season, right? Obviously we got some camp battles that we're gonna talk about. No surprise there, but when I hear either a player is struggling in camp, I take that with a grain of salt. And when I hear that a player is out, outperforming everybody, I take that with a grain of salt too, because at the end of the day, it's just camp. One, they're not hitting. Um, and two, I remember players like Jalen Rager having great camps. I remember JJ Ortega-Whiteside having a great camp. Never materialized into anything other than great camps. So when I hear that a player is outshining, um, yeah, I'm excited about it, but like I said, I got to take that with a grain of salt because at the end of the day, what matters is September football, and camp is nice. It's good to get those reps. It's good to perform, but if it doesn't translate to September fall ball, don't really matter what you did in the spring. Um, so that brings me to my first topic. Obviously, with camp starting last week, they say that Keely Ringo out there getting work, right? So as we know as Philadelphia Eagles fans, Keely Ringo is in a camp battle for the starting cornerback position that was left vacant because we let Slay walk out the door. So he's in a battle with Adoree Jackson for that starting, because we already know Q got that other side on lock. We ain't worried about that. So at this point, we need to know what we're gonna get out of Keely Ringo. He's been on the team for a few years, and it's time for him to step up at this point. So what I need to see from him is a strong camp. Obviously, he can't afford to get hurt because of this. A injury can cost you your job. So early reports are saying that he's getting worked by AJ Brown, Big Whoop, who don't get worked by AJ Brown. AJ Brown is one of the best wide receivers in the league. This is one of those grain of salt moments for me, right? So when we talk about Akili Ringo and we talk about AJ Brown is at the top of his game. It is what it is. So in this case, let the iron sharpen the iron. He's not gonna have to go against AJ Brown week in and week out, but he will go against him week in and week out at practice. So don't worry about the reports that he's out here getting work. Don't worry about reports that he may not be looking how you want him to look. Um, just trust in Vic Fangio's system. If for some reason he can't cut it, then we'll look elsewhere. Maybe Adoree Jackson will be the vet to step. But you got to remember, in the scheme that we like to play the most defensively, heavy zone concept. So it's not like you got to worry about him going up against the number 2 receiver um on a weekly basis, taking them deep, because we don't get beat deep. Not in the scheme that we run. Primarily, I'm not worried about Ringo until he starts looking bad in games. That's one of those grain of salt moments for me. So I say take a breath, take a breath with me, because Ringo will be fine. And if not, we'll get him out of there. But it's too soon to worry about if he is or isn't going to pan out, because no games have been played yet. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, the young linebacker. So we had some concerns about Jihaad Campbell and if he would be ready for training camp. Early reports said that, both showed that he had a shoulder surgery. Both his knees were concerned. These were the reasons why he dropped to 32, 31 in the draft as opposed to going in the top 10, yada, yada, yada. We draft him. Obviously, we do our due diligence when it comes to making sure that he'll be ready to go for the start of the season. All reports are saying that he's back. He's been looking good in camp now. The grain of salt moment here is it's just camp. Haven't put the full pads on yet. Um, Glad to see that he's taking advantage of the reps that he's given. We suspect that if he can be healthy, that he will start next to Zach Bond. Speaking of Zach Bond, I just got to commend him again for coming in and one, shocking the world and itself last year, um, with an all-pro season. In my opinion, the defensive player of the year should have been. He got snubbed for that. Um, and now he's being a leader, leading the young guys. So not only is he basically the leader of the defense, but he's also, charged with being a mentor and helping the young guys come along, because we know that Nakobe Dean's injury is going to keep him out for a period of time. How long, we have no idea, because there are some reports that he could be ready sooner than later. But meanwhile, if Jihaad Campbell is ready to go, I see no reason why, if he's ready to go and if he's ready for a full go, I see no reason why we can't yet let the young boy loose. I can't wait to see what these two do uh, when the pads come on and it matters the most. But so far, obviously the young linebackers, they're shining. Grain of salt again. When we talk about Devontae, so we got injuries. Devontae Smith has some back soreness. Not really worried about that. I think Jalen Carter hasn't really practiced much, if at all. Not worried about that. Um, I think for the most part we're relatively healthy. Obviously we kind of nicked up because why, it's football. You're gonna get some kind of nicks, bangs, bruises. These boys are just getting back to camp. And as a vet, you've earned the right to not necessarily do every or go through every practice. These guys are returning. They've earned their space, their spot in the NFL and on this team. So I'm not really worried about them not practicing a day or a week or whatever, because we already know what Smitty bring to the table. We already know what Jalen Carter bring to the table. But we got to talk about Jordan Davis, man. He shows up to camp looking like an edge rusher. So obviously, we pick up his 5th-year option. Um, Jordan Davis was also one of our breakout candidates this year. his last. This is technically his last year on well, he might be on contract till next year. But this is a make no mistake about it, this is a prove it year for Jordan Davis. We've shown our faith in him by extending him. So, well, picking up his 5th year option. He's got to go ahead and do the rest. So, the way to show the first step to showing the organization that, hey, I'm serious, come in trim like you did. Like, this is the smallest he's been since he's been an Eagle. Maybe even since he been in college. But I love the fact that he's taking this serious. He's got a motor. Saying that he's getting more reps than he's ever gotten in his career so far in Philly. So hopefully that materializes into a breakout season like we called earlier. So obviously it's hot. That ain't nothing to talk about. Hurts. So Hurts, when it comes to evaluating Hurts in the offseason, I'm gonna say I stopped worrying about Hurts after the first Super Bowl. After that performance that he put in the 2022 season to lead this Philadelphia Eagles team to a Super Bowl appearance and putting on one of the best performances from a quarterback that we've ever seen in a Super Bowl. Like, at that point, all my questions were answered. He's our guy, and he knows how to prepare and lead this team the way that he wants to lead this team. So obviously, we saw that he had some conversations with Jordan in the offseason. He had some conversations with Derek Jeter in the offseason, and maybe some more champions that have won one, and to gain insight into how they are going to how he should approach an offseason and season after winning the title. So my boy is so locked in that he didn't even put on his Super Bowl ring. That in itself, that's good enough for me. I know he's focused. And if your quarterback coming in so focused that he won't even put on his ring, he's saying that that's the past. He ready to go win some more. I'm so excited about this season. I cannot wait. So I will be locked in 2 days for this Hall of Fame game. Obviously, we will be streaming that on the Sports Lounge Media and the Down South Philly Show. Um, heavy commentating, heavy commentary on that because it's preseason and it's not a lot of names that you're going to know unless you are a fan of the teams that are playing. I believe it's the LA Chargers and the Detroit Lions. But when we talk about preseason, especially the first game of the preseason, you're going to see maybe twos, definitely threes and fours, and people trying to make these ball clubs. And one thing that we can't forget about preseason is not only are these players trying to make a team, the team that they're playing for, they're putting on an audition tape for the other 31 teams in the league to get a spot either on a practice squad or on a 53-man roster for this coming season. So it's bigger than just making the team that they're on, you know, in the preseason. They're auditioning for the rest of the teams in the league. So I'm excited. That's what I look for. I look for those hungry players that yeah, man. 31st can't get here. Don, what's good with you?
What's going on?
Hey, we almost got football, baby. We
Hey, I'm hype. They didn't put the pass on. I'm hype.
yeah, yeah. I was just talking about basically how I'm taking this part of the season with a grain of salt. Not really
Yeah.
too excited about the good things that come out of camp. Definitely not low on the bad things that come out of camp because we remember that Rager had a great camp. We remember JJ Arthur-Whiteside having a great camp, but we also remember players like Jamar Chase not being able to catch a cold in camp. So you just gotta take it with a grain of salt. It's just
Good
camp.
point.
The main things that I look for out of camp are health and you know, making sure that you don't get arrested, really. I mean, outside of that, that's all I'm really concerned
Yeah,
about.
man.
Obviously, it's always a concern when a player don't look like they ready. But this is the time for that. So how you feel? How do you generally approach camp and news and everything surrounding preseason football?
Pretty much the same thing you just said. Kind of take it with a grain of salt. You can't put too much stock into the good or the bad stuff. All you can really hope is the team is like building chemistry. Hoping that they gelling as on the field, off the field. They getting the playbook down. They competing at a high level. And with us normally having these last few years, like really good size of the ball. It's like iron sharpen iron. We got the type of guys that's gonna bring the new guys along. Just really stuff like that. I mean, you do like to hear good stuff coming out of camp, but like you said, you still take it with a grain of salt. This player did this, or they picked this up, or whatever. But a lot of times, they working on something. Like for example, uh, the Eagles' offense, like they've been working on certain things or whatever. It's not like they out there just like playing against the defense. Like they working on stuff. So it's like they trying stuff. So if Jalen throw a pick or just something crazy happen, it's not like, oh my God, this is gonna be a bad season. Jalen threw a pick. Like, bro, they trying stuff. So like you said, just take it with a grain of salt and just hoping that they, fine tuning whatever they need to, they picking up and installing how they need to, and the team just building chemistry.
Facts,
And
facts,
then you
and
want to see, and for me, I know this is like a time period where you seeing who gonna be the starter, all right, who gonna have that second role, and if we need to go get somebody, like that's what
mhm.
another thing I'm really looking for out of camp or whatever. You really can't you really can't start judging stuff until like the actual season games getting played, and even then, like I always give us like, hey, we got to get past these first 4 games, and then we see what we got. But yeah, really just seeing if we need to go get somebody, or if we got the guys we need in camp. Are we weak at this position? Or this guy not panning out the way we thought, or did we have a key injury or whatever? Just stuff like that.
Man, so when we talk about battles to look for, obvious battles that we know are going to affect the starting 22. Of course, we got to look at Ringo and Adoree Jackson. That's one of those camp battles.
Yeah,
Obviously, early reports coming out that um, Ringo getting worked in practice by AJ, which I mean AJ worked starting cornerback. So that's
right.
one of them grain of salt moments for me too. My main thing with that is long as he ain't out there looking lost, um, AJ is just gonna do you. So I mean it obviously as the season progresses and he's gonna go against him day in and day out, that's gonna get better. But in the meantime, it's just like, it kind of is what it is from that regard. I'm not
And
I'm
guys
not
rounding
worried
back
about
in
it
the
yet.
shape.
There you
Guys
go.
rounding back in the shape, getting their feet up. It's literally just not week 2.
Mhm. So that's one of them grain of salt moments for me. Obviously, we talk about the safety position too. Andrew McCuba, I think he got a little nicked up.
Yep.
His health is gonna be paramount in his battle, obviously with Sidney Brown and McCullum. Um, it's looking like early. It's so hard. And the other thing about, especially with Vic, it's so hard to know who is even like leading in his mind because he do rotation. So one day Makuba might be starting, the next day Sidney Brown might be starting. E Money was good with you. Go Birds. The next day they could put Coop at starting safety. So you just don't know because he's also trying to get, different kind of looks. That way, if we do have a string of injuries, we can kind of move pieces around. And like you said, we're just trying shit and seeing what's working, seeing what's not gonna work. But at the end of the day, still getting some good work in because we got dogs on both sides of the ball. So no matter where you lined up, you should get some good work in.
Yeah, I agree. We just seeing who go where. Who gonna get that?
Mhm.
Who gonna get the wide receiver 3 spot? Who gonna get the wide receiver 4 spot? Just seeing who gonna get who gonna win? It's a battle between I guess AJ Dillon and what's my guy? What's the other guy name? The other running back from Clemson.
Talking about damn, I
Is it
just was
Will?
talking about him.
Is his
Will
name Will?
Shipley.
Will
Shipley.
Shipley?
Shipley.
Shipley.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shipley and Dillon for that second role. Just seeing who's, you know what I'm saying, seeing who win in the battles and stuff like that. Like you said, it's hard to tell a lot of times. And even on the defense, we saw last year, we pretty much seen Devin White get all the doggone snaps, only not to start, you know what I'm saying, not to even
Didn't
win
sniff
starting.
the field.
Yeah, only the not even win the starting job. So, I see a lot of people being biased because they want certain people to win the starting job. So you will see other content creators. Yeah, I think Sidney Brown losing the job because of this or that. Blah blah blah. Man, look, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what Fangio got going on. And then, like you said, even like the reports of Keely Ringo, like for me, it's only week 2, man. I can't really put too much stock into it. Now, if it's coming down the stretch the last week or something like that, and he out there still getting cooked by everybody, nah, we got a problem. But I mean, it's week 2. I can't really put too much into that. And like I said, iron sharper iron. At the end of the day, if Smitty, AJ, and Fangio can't get you ready, then you
We
ain't
got a
ready.
problem.
Yeah, you ain't ready. We got to find somebody else. We got to abort mission. And like I said, and this ain't nothing against Keely Ringo, because I really like Keely Ringo, but I wanted Isaiah Rodgers and Quinyon Mitchell to be the corners.
All
But we
day.
ain't got Isaiah Rodgers, so I got to move on. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to always be in the back of my mind. Even if Keely Ringo out there doing his thing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going, hey, I like Isaiah Rodgers' game. But I like Keely Ringo game too. And what's funny for me is, so last year, we had a situation where I think Slay went down, and I don't know if like Isaiah was already on the field or whatever, but for whatever reason, yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Slay went down, and then Isaiah came in for Slay, and I think Isaiah might have gave up a pass or something, which everybody gonna do, but I think he might have gave up like one pass. And people was out here, yeah, they need to get Keely, and Isaiah ain't. Now those same people, yeah, Keely might not be it, but you was calling for Keely to get in instead of Isaiah Rodgers. Man, people are just so fickle, man. Just come on, people. It's the NFL. Some people you gonna give up plays here and there. I don't care who you is. We saw Slay give up plays all the time, as good as he was. Quinyon gonna give us some plays. Coop gonna give us some plays. You're not gonna be 100%. You just gotta beat it in the biggest moments. You gotta do your thing, and 9 times out of 10, just make sure you're doing your thing. But people gonna give up plays here and there, so I really ain't worried about it, man. I know, especially on that defense, they gonna Fangio gonna have them dudes in the best position to win. He gonna have the best guys on the field, and if not, he gonna be hollering at how, hey, we might need to go grab something right here, whatever. But and then on the offensive side of the ball, I'm sure we was gonna talk about this as well, but the more I watch this dude, the more I listen to him, and the more I think about it, I really like Kevin Patullo, man.
Yeah.
I really like Kevin Patullo. I really think like now this is just me projecting, but as I look at things like he been with us, he been there ever since Nick got there, so he done been through every situation we done ever been through.
Ups and downs.
The ups, the downs. He done been there with Shane. He done been there with Brian Johnson. He done been there with what's my guy name that just went to the Saints?
Damn, I can't think of his name.
With
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. So he done seen everything. He done seen Nick with his BS play calling, running screens and slants and all. He done seen the comeback routes. He done seen that. And he been biding his time. Yeah, if this was me, I'd do this. Yeah, that's what I would have did in this situation. If I ever get the chance to be an offensive coordinator. And meanwhile, he building relationships with all the players, because all the players, like, they seem to love him. Like, yeah, man, like, they seem to love him. Even like when they first announced it, like last year, like if you listen to some of the interviews, the players seem like they already was like, yeah, oh yeah, that's my guy. So I think Patullo, and then just like his mentality, the way they talk about how he command the room, and then just like listening to his interview, you can tell he just like kind of like on his stuff. I mean, like I said, I'm projecting, but this he might end up being like one of the best offensive coordinators we had. Like, I mean, he could pan out to be that way. It seemed like it might be a smoother transition than it was because they already learned from the transition when we had to go from Shane to Brian Johnson. So I'm sure they won't make some of those mistakes again. Um, he just seemed like he gonna be he might end up being the best offensive coordinator we either had or the best coordinator we had since Shane. Cause
And
Shane Steichen was in his bag, man. I know
Sugar
it really
Shane.
that it was the really that it really was that second year that he had.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think we're gonna really like the offense this year. Now we might not see that the first few weeks because they got to work the kinks out. This is when a lot of people gonna be jumping off ship. Nah, Kevin Batulo ain't it. Him and Hurts and the offense got to get on the same page. It's gonna take a few weeks. Y'all just hold your horses. Like I told you last year, when we was 2-2, I didn't really get why everybody was panicking, but this is neither here nor there. But I was telling everybody, hey, chill, we 2-2. People acting like we was
Mm-hmm.
0-4, like we was the Bengals or something. Like we had Joe Burrow, Joe
It was
Mr.
that.
Playoff Burrows or something. You know
It
what I'm
was
saying?
that. It was that. Buzz game.
Yeah.
They got rattled after that shellacking.
Yeah, they had flashbacks to that San Fran game from the year before. But I mean, it didn't phase me. I knew we was gonna be straight. Um, but yeah, so like I said, I do really like the more I see him, the more I listen to him, and the more I think about it. I really like Kevin Patullo. I think when it come down to it and it come down the stretch, everybody gonna end up liking him. But we'll see, man. I really could be wrong. We might end up hating him, but I think he's gonna be a good situation.
I mean, he got all the weapons that every other coordinator had to be
Yeah,
successful.
yeah,
The only difference I think is the right guard. Right guard is the only right guard and wide receiver 3 and 4. That's really the only major differences between what he has and what every other coordinator the past
yeah.
2 to 3 years had. Now, I am excited. One, Jahan Dotson, he getting these reps that he didn't get a chance to get last year. With Hurts. And I'm hearing some great things about Terrace Marshall
Man,
pushing for that 4, maybe even like splitting time, 3A, 3B
sound like he
situation.
cooking. Sound like he cooking.
Hey, that's what
I
I
hope
hear,
he.
but
They say he got banged up too, so I'm hoping it's a
yeah,
situation where he come right back. Cause I hate one thing I hate about these camp situations when you start hearing stuff like that about a guy and then they get hurt and then they end up not even like a lot
getting
of times
cut.
that end up to a guy getting cut off the team because we didn't really get to see you like that. Yeah, you was doing your thing, but we missed you these last few weeks or whatever. So somebody else kind of got that role or whatever. So hopefully it's a situation where he could just come right back. Because when you not somebody like we just straight up went and drafted or something like that, like it's loud, you probably gonna get cut.
Hey,
Like
you got to fight for your life.
yeah, yeah, you got to stay healthy. So and he sound like he might be like you said pushing for that three spin time with three or that fourth spot. So um
And
I want
honestly,
I
I
want
think
somebody
at
like
a
that on my team.
yeah, and honestly, as a wide receiver, I feel like as long as you can at least get that 4 spot, you good.
Yeah,
Because at any given week, I saw a stat not too long ago that said that we only had like 4 games last year with all the starters on the field. So at
yeah,
some point, you're gonna get your spot to move up to a 3,
yeah,
maybe even a 2,
yeah.
depending on the week. So as long as you can get in that like 4, you in the rotation.
Yeah, it's 17 game season. It's no way. If you the fourth wide receiver, it's almost no way 1, 2, and 3 all gonna stay healthy.
Right.
17 games. Like you
Mhm.
gonna get in there somewhere. And sometimes two guys might go down. So you
Yep.
saying so if you the fourth wide receiver, you basically just waiting on your name to get called.
Mhm.
So
Depending on the set, you might be on the field, but yeah, I think as long as you can secure that 4, you in there. Bagel got a question for us. Baker said, "What do y'all think of this season schedule?" I think that everybody on the schedule is food. So obviously, if you ask the media and other people around the league, they're gonna tell you that our schedule seems to be hard. But if we are who we think we are, and this is not even just me thinking that we're gonna pick up where we left off in the Super Bowl, because obviously that's just not how football works. New season, new team. But that's the case for the other 31 teams in the league too. So when I see the schedule, I like having a harder, or at least for a schedule to appear to be harder, because it
Yeah,
gets you
me
ready
too.
for the playoffs.
Yep.
So am I excited about having a division game in week one? No, but I mean it's not the first time that's happened. It generally happened just about every year with us. It's just normally like a Washington or like a Giants being led to slaughter in week one. This time it's gonna be the Cowboys. So I'm excited about the season, man. What I like about playing teams like these is it gives you ability to measure like where you are early. So what we got? We got Dallas week one, then we got Kansas City, then we got the Rams and the Bucks in some kind of variation. So that's our first four games. That's gonna let us know what we got the first month of the season. So I'm excited about that. How you feel
Gonna
about
let
this?
us. It's gonna let us know what we got. It's gonna let them know what they got. And like you said, I literally probably it was either yesterday or the day before. I literally was just thinking that too. I was like, dang, I like the schedule because
Hmm.
all the variations because we play a good bit of teams with some good defenses like the
Hmm.
Broncos. They probably gonna have a good defense again.
The
They defense probably
Chiefs,
probably gonna be better again. Chiefs gonna have a great defense.
the
So
Bucks always seem to have our number, so I'm always excited about that one.
yeah, I think these teams gonna give us a lot of looks, and we'll be well rounded and well prepared for the playoffs. Because all we really want to do is we done dang near everything you want to do in the regular season. We didn't won a lot of games and got the first seed. We didn't been
We
wild
didn't
card. We
one,
didn't.
the
You know
two.
what I'm saying? So at this point, we just want to do. At this point, we on what the Chiefs on. We
Hmm.
just want to get in the playoffs. We get in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do our thing. So I really our job is to play these teams and let them because what we just won the Super Bowl. So they gonna be giving us the best they got, even some of the bad teams. So
Hmm.
we gonna get every look that we need to see offensively, defensively, special teams. People gonna get tested, rookies gonna get rounded into shape, and we gonna be ready once the playoffs start. That's all we need. Cause that's literally how our schedule went last year. It seemed like man, the schedule went almost so perfect last year. It seemed like every game set us up to win the next game. Because it was something that we would see in that game that I was like, all right, yeah, we needed that for this. That's why we won this game. It just lined up so perfectly how those games was. So, yeah, I'm hype about the season and I'm hype about the schedule. Like I think I wanted a tough schedule. So I mean I didn't necessarily want a tough schedule, but now that I see it, it's like yeah, this is the schedule we kind of need. It's gonna get us. We get to the playoffs and a team just straight up better than us and they beat us. Then that's it. It is what it is. But this schedule should get us ready for anything we gonna see.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. And then, like I said, the other thing when we talk about a team or a schedule being hard, we basing that off of last year.
Last
These
year.
teams don't even necessarily gotta be a shell of what they was last year. They could be better, but they could also be worse. So at the end of the day, you gotta play the games that's on the schedule and new year, new me, baby.
Yeah, we see it. We see it every year. A lot of teams
Hmm.
be like you see the Eagles. Usually the Eagles is consistent.
Hmm.
You gonna always see them in and around the playoffs. A lot of these other teams they might get hot for a year. They might get hot for a year or two, then they fall off. So you never really know. It's certain teams around the league that's gonna always be somewhat consistent. You always see Seattle, Bucks, um, Philly, KC. You know, certain teams are gonna always Dallas usually. Um, certain teams is always pretty like regular season wise, usually consistently making that playoff push. So, it's and then it's always that surprise team that nobody's seeing coming. Um, I think if they healthy, we might see something out of the Jets this season. I think Justin Fields might end up doing his thing. We might end up seeing something out of the Jets. A lot of people calling for Atlanta to be good. I mean, a lot of stuff just got to come together, look good on paper, but a lot of it got to come together, and that's what a lot of people fail to realize. Like, you can have all the talent in the world, that ain't gonna make you a good team. You got to have great chemistry, great coaches. You got to have some luck. That's why I don't really like the narrative of like people like, well, all the Eagles players good. Hurts getting carried. Like, nah, Hurts got to go out there and still be a quarterback. Because if he didn't win the Super Bowl with that same roster, y'all would be saying something about that. He had all that talent, and he's so bad he couldn't. Even, nah, you still. It ain't like we can't just throw Joe Smo out there at quarterback and win. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot that goes into being.
Let the media tell it you can.
And that's just they, and you know what? And when they say stuff like that, that's just their way of trying to downplay Hurts.
Mhm.
Like it
Mhm.
ain't really true. It's just like when people be like, "Well, if you put Joe Burrow on the Eagles, they win the Super Bowl." We don't know that. You just assuming that because you like Joe Burrow game, he a talented quarterback. We don't really know that Joe Burrow would win the Super Bowl with the Eagles. It sounds like he probably would, but we don't know that for a fact. So we can't
Mhm.
just be like, "Well, I like Joe Burrow better because he would have did the same thing as Hurts." I mean, it seemed like he would, but we don't really know that. So if we're gonna go off make believe situations, I'm gonna start calling Jalen Hurts the MVP because the only reason why he lost the MVP was because we was busting everybody head in 22. He kept sitting on the bench for dang near the whole fourth quarter, and then he
Mhm.
got hurt the last 2-3 games of the season. Outside of that, he would have won MVP. So to me, he got a regular MVP record too. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But I can't say that because he didn't win the MVP. It's just make believe.
Tim says if we put our foot down with this schedule, then we establish ourselves as a potential dynasty.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
gonna have
I mean
some.
that's what
That's
we're
true,
working on.
but they gonna have some excuses about that.
Mhm.
Hey, we
Mhm.
could go 17-0. They gonna have the whole season. They gonna lose this game. Well, they was struggling like last year. Yeah, they were struggling against Carolina, bro. We won the game, went on, and I think we played what the Ravens or the Steelers next, and bust their head. Everybody was uptight about that, man. It's always gonna be something.
Honestly, Hurts can have the exact same regular season that he had last year to me, and I'll be fine with that.
Yeah,
I
me too.
The same season he had last year, because I mean, for a better part of the season, everybody was saying is Hurts holding the team back, everything working but the passing game. He gonna cost them a chance. They might not even make the playoffs. If they do make the playoffs, they gonna get smoked in the first round. Yada yada yada. I hope it's the same conversation this year, because that means one, we still winning, and two, Hurts doing what he need to do to put us in a position to win.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about the passing game got to man. Look, as long as we matter of fact, Hurts literally just said this out his mouth the other day. His goal is to
Mhm.
win games. He don't care how it look. And me, that's the type of fan I am. You ain't I not one game last season where I was like, man, damn, Hurts holding the team. I ain't think that not one game. Hell, we won the game. Well, I'm not about to say complain. Yeah, Hurts missed the pass. I done seen Justin Herbert. Man, if y'all go back and look, we streamed some doggone Chargers games. I was Justin Herbert missing all type of throws. Nobody even talking about it. I'm sitting there watching the game like nobody talking about this. But if it was Hurts missing them same throws, it would have been a problem.
See, Burrow would not do the same thing with the offensive game plan, how it's set up. Yeah, I mean, when we
And
when we talk
furthermore,
about and we
no,
go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, and just to his point, even if these quarterbacks was on the team, it wouldn't even be the same offense. You got to tailor the offense to that quarterback. Like it wouldn't even be the same
Mhm.
offense.
Facts. Because at the end of the day, the reason why this offense looks the way it does is because Hurts is the quarterback. It's because he's a threat with his legs. It's because if you bring everybody up, he gonna bomb you over the top. So I mean, if anything, Hurts fits his team pretty much better outside of Mahomes, better than any other quarterback in their system. Um, I would argue he run his system at times better than Mahomes do, but that's neither here nor there. Um, this system is perfect for Hurts because it's built for Hurts, just like every other GM and head coach and offensive coordinator do. They build a team around their guy, and nobody has done a better job over the past 3 to 4 years of building a great team around their guy than the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, you know what people forget about? And since I was watching football through that era, not the because you know people take comparisons saying
Mm-hmm.
people is this guy, but if you go back and watch Tom Brady, it was so many games. Matter of fact, all you got to do is go watch old episodes of Undisputed, because Shannon Sharp used to say it all the time, and old buddy used to get mad. What's his name? Skip used to
Skip.
get mad because Shannon to come on there and be like, you know, Skip would come on there and be like, "Dang, did you see Brady win that game last night?" And then Shannon be like, "Yeah, but I seen him. He ain't doing that for the first 3 quarters." But
Yep.
at the end, Brady would win the game. Now, if Hurts do the same thing, which he do, like, and I ain't saying he ain't doing that in the first 3 quarters, but people say that, and
Mm-hmm.
then he'll win the game at the end. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Brady, this exactly was Brady's game.
Mm-hmm. Win
Like
it.
if it was a hard game, this is what Brady gonna do. If the defense ain't giving him nothing, he ain't taking nothing extra. He gonna wait until you make a mistake, and he gonna make you pay for it, or he gonna set you up all game and then get you at the end, or he gonna just do what he need to do at the end to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody, did you see Brady? Blah blah blah. And then people used to give Brady hell up until he won too many Super Bowls and they couldn't say nothing else
It
about him.
wasn't nothing you could say at that point.
And then nobody talk about all the times Brady Bacon got saved by having a great defense. You know how many times he
Facts.
got saved by people not giving Marshawn Lynch the ball on the goal line? Asante Samuels interception. What's the other dude? It's so many people who got Tuck Rule. He almost ain't even supposed to go to his first Super Bowl. They were supposed to. The
Talk
Raiders
about it.
was supposed to go to that Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't. Ain't no way he was supposed to win that game against the Falcons. I'm glad he did, but being down that much in the Super Bowl, you supposed to be able to lose that one.
And then on top of that, in the same situation like that, all right. So the Falcons game, it was a pass Brady threw, and old buddy made that little circus catch. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Edelman,
So
I think.
Edelman. So Jalen Hurts throw a ball like that to AJ. They give it. Hey, you see AJ
All
coming
the
by?
credit.
All the credit. In that situation, they giving it to Brady. You see it throw Brady. They ain't saying nothing about, hey, Edelman saved him. If it wasn't for Edelman making that circus catch, nobody's saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same situation, they be like, you see AJ save Hurts on a bad ball? Man, come on, man. People just tailor their argument to who they like.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally go through every quarterback, every team, and do the same thing. We can go through it and critique all these guys. But for the most part, people just give the quarterbacks all the credit until it's Jalen. They don't want to give him no credit. When you win the
None.
game, hey, quarterback get the credit. When the Eagles win the game, Jalen don't get
It's
no
the
credit. They act
team.
like
It's the
they act
team.
like he got 0 rushing yards, 0 passing yards, like he was just hiking the ball and that was it. Like he handed the Saquon to throw passes. Yeah, Saquon,
Yeah.
you throw this.
Yeah.
You run
Yeah.
it too. Man, come on. Then they be like, yeah, he only had 2,900 yards. So he passed the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You want him to throw for another 1,200 yards or 2,000 yards just to make you feel
That
good?
that mean we losing.
Man, yeah, that's why.
The more
That's why.
passing yards that you got, more times than not mean you got to come from behind in them empty calorie yards,
I,
or you ain't got no kind of running game, and you got to rely on the passing game to move the ball at all. We don't have them type of problems in Philly.
and I keep saying that's the problem with the guys that y'all like. Burrow. I mean,
Mm.
I like Burrow and them too, but what I'm saying
Yeah.
is my what I'm saying is the reason why the Bengals can't make the playoffs no more is, one, they start the season off horrible. Two,
Hmm.
they need to run the damn ball more. Joe Burrow is great, but if you want to just keep putting everything on his shoulder, you're gonna keep getting what you got. Cause guess what? He ain't gonna be able to get it done by himself. It's a team sport.
Hmm.
Y'all get mad at Howie for recognizing that and going to get the rest of the team.
It ain't Hurts' fault he got the best GM in the game.
Lamar, you know what Lamar problem is? Well, I think I think the moment be too big for Lamar sometimes, and I also think they don't run the damn ball. His coach, he just you got Derrick Henry now, run the ball. Even when they didn't have Derrick, they 22 season when they had that number one defense, they had like a top five rushing. They
Attack.
had like top, and they would. What the hell was that in the playoffs?
Couldn't tell.
You know what I'm saying? Then they just had Derrick Henry. He's standing on the sideline half the season. If Derrick Henry was in doggone Philly last year, he would not been standing on those sidelines like that.
Hell no. He'd have had a 2,000-yard rushing
Two
season, probably.
thousand yard season. And they would have been saying that Derrick Henry the best back in the league. I guess he is playing behind the Eagles. It would have been, you know what I'm saying? Dang. But now that Derrick Henry with the Ravens, they acting like damn. Come on. And furthermore, all season long, until he wasn't, they were saying Derrick Henry was better than Saquon. You remember when they was doing no comparisons?
Yep.
Who had the best? Because all those you had Derrick Henry go to the Ravens, you had Saquon come to us, you had old boy go to Green Bay, and
Jacobs.
they Jacobs go to Green Bay, and then you had Jones from Green
Mixon.
Bay went to the Vikings. I think
And
then he
then
go to the Vikings
Mixon, yeah. And then Mixon went to the Texans.
in Texas, and they was talking about who was in the best situation, who got the best running back or whatever. Everybody was saying Derrick Henry. They was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry to the Ravens was the best situation. I'm like, really? All right. Then when we went to Super Bowl, now it's Saquon. He took damn until he damn hurdled somebody for them to start changing their mind.
He had to go for 2,000 yards for them to change his mind.
Yeah,
Some
they
shit
was saying
that ain't been done but by like 8 other players.
crazy.
Because remember, at the beginning of the season, they was saying Saquon was washed. It wasn't
Yeah,
no
they
whole
was
bunch of
saying.
people
Yeah, they was
caping for Saquon at the beginning of the season. They were saying he was washed. His best years was
that's
behind
why
him.
the Giants ain't pay him. They
Yeah,
got y'all. Blah
we
blah blah.
overpaid for him. He wasn't gonna give us nothing. They was also saying that wasn't the problem with us in 23. That's not the move that we should have been made. All of that was wrong, obviously.
And and they were saying the problem was the defense. We we attacked that too. You can't attack more than one thing. You can't
Right.
make yourself stronger. We had a good running game. We made it great. We had a trash defense. We made that great. What is your logical football fan recommendation for this season? We
We
do
gotta
that?
go. We gotta go back. We gotta
Yeah,
go back.
we're gonna talk about the schedule again before the season start. I
Yeah,
think we made a video kind of talking about that already. I can't remember what we said, but we'll do another one for sure before the season start.
but
Um,
I would say without doing like a full deep dive, I had us win. I got us winning 13 games this year. Just from what I remember, I think I got us winning like 13 games. Um, Still obviously in contention for like a 1 or a 2 seed, but, like we said earlier, ultimately, all we need to do is get in the dance. We got enough experience that, I don't see I think our floor should be like 10 wins. That's like our floor.
you know,
So anywhere from 10 to 13 wins, that's why I see us, being this year, given that we healthy, of course.
yeah, we just gotta go win. As long as we just go win the division, we go win the NFC East. I'm good. We go win the NFC.
Woohoo! We win this NFCs and break that stat down. Oh, that's gonna be
The last
another
team to
hate
do it since we did
since we did it.
it. Or inflated from last season because of playing behind from play. Yeah, that's facts.
Absolutely.
And
His
like I
his
said, I
his
like
numbers
Burrow.
always deflated like that.
I like Burrow, but people not gonna put a lot of stuff into perspective because they like Burrow.
Mm-mm.
Like if you put Jalen Hurts in that same situation, like they would not be giving him the praise they giving Burrow right now. And it's crazy to even see. It's crazy. Like so, the Bengals missed the playoffs the last two seasons. Do you know what would happen to Jalen and Philly if he missed the playoffs? I don't care what the reason was. If he
Right.
missed the playoffs two seasons in a row and started off two seasons in a row like 0-3, 0-4, do you know what they would be saying about this man? You see what they saying about him now? He just won a Super Bowl MVP. 15 to 20.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what you can expect from Hurts year in and year out. If it's a great MVP type season, maybe he can push for 30 touchdowns. But I say as long as we keep the core that we have, his numbers are gonna be around that because Hurts gonna do what it takes to win. Now it's gonna be obviously we're not gonna be able to give him this supporting cast his entire career, but while he has it for the next what 2 to 3 years, that's what I realistically expect from him.
And it's going. I mean, and a lot of that is going to be like predicated on how because teams not going to give us the same look year
Right.
in and year out. So this season is probably going to look different from last season. Like teams might be banking on, I we saw Jalen do that in the Super Bowl, but they the Chiefs had someone stopping the run, so we just gonna do that too. And then teams in the beginning might be trying to
What's
sell
the
out to start
same?
the run and forcing Jalen to throw. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's gonna come down really to what the defense do because at the end of the day, Jalen Hurts' game is I'm gonna take what the defense give me. So if they giving him the pass game, he gonna take the pass game, but he not gonna put the ball in harm's way to take the pass game.
Facts. Before I forget though, just to switch gears just a little bit around the NFC East, we got a couple players that's still waiting on that bag, man. And I know probably the fans of those organizations may be starting to sweat a little bit, but obviously we know that ultimately it's gonna get done. But when we talk about a Micah Parsons, um, still not being paid his bag, or Terry who holding out, scary Terry in Washington who holding out, still waiting on that big payday. Give me your thoughts on how you feel about like players around the league of that kind of stature and not being paid yet at this point in the season.
Shoot, I think it's crazy because a lot of times we see these guys whenever they got to hold out, and then they ended up they a lot of times they end up. What's crazy is it seems like they always usually end up getting paid. We have a situation here and there where guys don't end up getting paid, and then they just for the most part they probably end up on another team or something like that. But a lot of times they end up getting paid. So it's crazy to me to see teams like I know it's like you gonna end up paying them anyway. You trying to hold out, they trying to hold out. Y'all going, and then sometimes it don't even be it be over a couple $1,000,000, like $1 to $2 million here or there, maybe you know what I'm saying, or five or something like that, or whatever. But just like the Cowboys situation, I think they gonna pay Micah. But we see Dallas do this every year, and then they wait
Every
until the
year.
last minute. Now I don't know if Micah is like. I know he been at. I know he been at like the practices and stuff, but I don't know if he actually been practicing. Like I don't know if he been like holding in, or if he just actually been practicing or whatever. But in a lot of times, a lot of situations, these guys hold out. So now that you missing camp, and usually when that happens, we don't see these guys have the season that they just came off of. Um, and to me, a lot of times it be because they missed camp. Like you missed the whole camp. Now you coming in here like probably like they didn't pay them the week of the game or the week before they got one practice in or something like that. And it just seems like they never get right throughout the whole season. Um, in some situations. So I think a lot of these teams, because we see the same teams like acting like they don't want to pay nobody. We see the Bengals do it all the time. We see Dallas do it all the time. So a lot of these teams just end up paying people and just go ahead and pay them early, get them to camp. It's like, oh, you trying to win something or you trying to save money?
Yeah. And ultimately, like you ain't saving nothing because when you do pay them, now they pissed off
Yeah, for
because
sure.
the money that you should have gave them before they even started the holdout, yeah, they got the money, but now they pissed off that they had to go through what they went through, chemistry off a little bit, and you don't. It's already hard enough to win in this league when you got all your guys from the first day of training camp to week 17. So why add a barrier that you got to deal with potentially before you even put pads on?
And I think sometimes they be doing that to try to. not only do they do that with the player, but sometimes I think they be trying to like send a message to like other players like, hey, you not just letting you know, like when your time come up, it ain't gonna be this easy. We're gonna have to negotiate this thing. Like you ain't gonna just come in here and this what the market demand. Nah, it's gonna be man. Look, that's why I like the Eagles. We don't even be doing all that. As soon as you
Mhm.
available, in your rookie deal to get paid, and if you deserve it, we paying you. We paying you. We ain't even about to do all this hoopla. This man, look, we paying you early because now we saving bread. And then by the time, like I said the other day, when me and you was talking, if Micah Parsons was playing for the Eagles, they would be talking about his deal being cheap right now. Yeah, the Eagles got Micah Parsons. This is on this cheap deal. We just seen what's the old boy name got paid? We just seen Watt get paid. Micah Parsons deal is a bargain now. If you look at
Mhm.
it, but man, now he with Dallas, he ain't even got paid yet. Then they coming up on Dak again. So he really
Yep.
got a ball out this season. And
Then when
then
you
they
talk
going
about
they going
Terry, Terry would have been paid 2 years ago.
Terry would have been paid. They would have paid Terry would have been sitting pretty right now. He would have got paid 2 years ago.
And like you
Then
said, that's another one. That's another one that'd have been like, damn, how he did it again. He got him at this number. Because when we talk about Hurts, remember his contract at the time, people was clowning the Eagles. They were saying that we overpaid, and now he ain't even in the top 10.
top 10, yeah. He ain't even top 10. But but I think it's crazy. And then it's a little bit different for Dallas because I think Jerry just be doing it just to like he know
On
people gonna
purpose.
talk about it. So he like, all right, let me just go ahead and hold on to this. I'm gonna pay him. But y'all know I gotta hold on to it to the last day, the last hour, and the last minute. And then he signed, then he get a deal. Then it's like that. Like as a player, it's like why the hell I gotta go through all this? Like
Right.
it's crazy, and then especially when you see other teams getting paid at your position, and if you see them get paid early, you like, dang,
Mhm.
I'm dang near on my last year or my last year, and then these dudes getting paid early. Like any wide receiver that came in with Smitty, they like, dang, yeah, Smitty already got paid, dang.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
And at that time, like, wasn't nobody really getting paid like that as a number two.
Nah, we started it.
Mhm.
We
Now
start because people
everybody
weren't pay,
getting broke
people
off.
weren't people weren't paying their second wide receiver. You about to go to another team, buddy.
And
You
be
about
a
to go
number
to
one.
soon as we pay Smitty teams, it's like, ah, damn, we better follow suit because
Because I think
you
Waddle
you
got
let that
broke
number two
off.
go.
Yeah.
You let that number two go, it's over with.
Mhm. That's the difference. That's the difference.
And
We
people,
we
hey,
run a
then speaking of that, people act like Joe missed the playoff. Burrows ain't have T Higgins, Jamar Chase, and what was
Joe
the
Mixon.
boy? What,
Joe
didn't he have the other wide receiver Boyd?
Oh yeah, boy, it was cooking, yeah.
And they had a three-headed monster at wide receiver
With Mixon in the
with
backfield.
Mixon in the backfield. Man, get out of here, man. We had a setup. Nah, he ain't had the
But
best O
Hurts
line.
had the super team.
He ain't had the best O line in the world, but people act like he was out there playing behind a high school offensive line. Come on now. And
You the
and he and y'all claim he way better than Hurts. Dang, he need an offensive line too, just like Hurts need one. God dang,
So he
he
need
need, he need,
everything
he,
Hurts need.
but he better than him. What the hell do it matter then?
I just want him to keep it the same, man. That's it.
Yeah, nah, they be moving that goalpost now. They got that mug going on Charlie. Hey, that's the scene from Family Guy. They just keep moving the goalpost. Tell me that ain't a Family Guy scene. The goalpost episode.
Because when it come to Hurts, that's exactly what's gonna happen. He gonna like we say all the time, championships mattered until Hurts won one. Now
Yeah,
all of a
that's what
sudden
they
they
was
don't
holding
matter the
against.
way they.
They was holding playoff wins. When he lost that first playoff game, they was holding that against him. Yeah, last game I seen, he got beat by the Bucks pretty bad. So until he won another playoff game, he won another playoff game. They was like, yeah, he got to win another one though. He won another playoff game. Went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, balled out of the Super Bowl. Yeah, he can't do it again though. But dang, you just said
It's on wheels. The
for real.
goalposts on. When
And
you when we talk about stats though, like, all right, so we can compare that. Dak Dak put up great stats year in and year out, but
yeah,
like our whole philosophy offensively is different. Like when we get up big, we pull our starters. When some other teams like a Dallas get up big, they still had them
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. They
And
run the
then
score.
yeah, they run scores up. So that's another reason why stats can be misleading because one, it could be a situation where your team like to run the score up. Two, when Dak do have games where like he gotta dig out of a hole that either his team put him in or he didn't put the team in, obviously that count too. When you gotta stay in, play 4 quarters, when the game seem out of reach, now you done start balling. You done put
Yeah,
up 2, 3 touchdowns
yeah,
like Mahomes did in the Super Bowl to
yeah.
make it
You right.
look more respectable.
You right. And you know what? And I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot Dak be doing that. Dak do be
Mhm.
doing like he'll be behind and then throw for 300 yards in the fourth quarter. Yeah, hey, y'all seen that? Yeah, I seen it.
Well, they almost came back. We almost had it.
And
Yeah, I ain't had
threw
shit.
for 300. He threw for 400 yards. Three was just in the fourth quarter. I bet he did. He threw two picks to get him down.
Against the third string. You got the second string, and of course you're gonna look better.
but if I had to guess though, like with them having another wide receiver on the other side of CD Lamb, he'll probably be in the running for MVP again this season. And then
Yeah, as long as he stay healthy, he gonna put the numbers up.
yeah, he gonna put the numbers up. So he'll be in contention for MVP again, and then fizzle out in the playoffs. But um, I mean, long as he been in the league, he gonna get you 8 to 12 games, and he gonna get you a playoff berth. So I mean, I really can't take that from him because it ain't like that's easy.
Right.
He just ain't gonna get it done in the playoffs because a lot of people, and then when I say that, like I'm not even really like a huge Dak fan, but I ain't gonna discredit him either. Like
He a
the
top
man,
10 quarterback.
yeah, the man, he'll get you to the playoffs. Like he could be missing the playoffs. Like
Like
he
Burrow.
gonna he gonna be dang near MVP conversation every other year. He gonna put up a lot of stats, and then he might win a playoff game if that, and then that's it.
Unless he gotta play against the 49ers. Then you know they're going home.
Hmm.
That's their
First game.
kryptonite.
But yeah, so um, I see them probably having they'll have a decent season this year. I got them battling for second place in the East with Washington, and Washington could have I mean Washington could have a great season, but they
They
might
might.
have a bad season. Like we never really know. Everybody, I know some people calling for Jaden to have a sophomore slump. Some people calling for him to take another step. Like we really don't know what's gonna go on with them. And if they don't pay Terry, I know what's gonna go on with
You
him.
already know
Cause
it.
D-boy ain't going. Man, look, I don't never try to say what somebody is and ain't gonna do, but first off, it ain't D-boy ain't no spring chicken. He done been around for a while and he done had a bunch of injuries. So
Now he
if
not
you
even a
gonna
number
go,
2 to me.
yeah, and he ain't even really like to me, he like he definitely ain't like no true number one receiver. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't no Jamar Chase. Like he's somebody you can get the ball in his hands and he can make something happen. But if he the only threat that you got,
You cook.
then he ain't really gonna do much. They gonna put an emphasis on stopping him. He ain't like he the best route runner in the world. So
Mhm.
um he gonna be limited. But if you got him on a team with Terry on the other side, now you open stuff up for him.
Mhm.
But if they just go out there with Debo, which I don't think they will, I think they'll pay
Nah, they
Terry.
got it. They got to pay Terry.
I don't know what the hell they waiting on, but I think they're gonna pay Terry. I was watching Nightcap like last night and they was talking about it. So apparently, I guess Terry want um more money than DK got or something like that. Like I think
Mhm.
DK got like did he get like 44 million or something like that?
I don't know. He got broke off though.
Yeah, I think he got. I think so. I think they said something about a report came out of like I guess his agent saying that he want north of what DK got because I think they was in the same draft class or something like that. And then Shannon was like, "Well, hell, right after if you go above DK is somebody he said making like 45 million. It might have been What's the boy name for the Vikings?
Jefferson or the number two.
It was Jefferson or somebody, and then I think the top person is Chase at like 40, but I don't think he wanted more than that. But I guess
I know
they
because I know Gary Wilson just got broke off too.
what he got? Did he get who got somebody got?
Let's see. DK got 5 years, 150 million, 60 million guaranteed.
60 mil.
Yeah, yeah, stinking rich. Let me see.
Yeah,
Garrett
that
Wilson.
kind of money right now.
Yeah, I could use that.
Ching.
Garrett Wilson's contract 4 years, $130 million, $13
hundred
million
and thirty
dollars
million dollars. Who you think you kidnapped? Chelsea Clinton? Nah.
90 million guaranteed, and a salary of 32.5 a year.
Who was that? Gary Wilson.
Yeah, so Gary Wilson got 32.5 a year,
Oh,
basically for 4 years.
I don't know. I think,
90
but
mil
I think who got
guaranteed.
90 guaranteed. Ah, that's what count right there. The guarantee
Yeah,
money.
and
Phew.
DK got 150, 60 guaranteed. I don't see no breakdown to
But I think they say he got like I mean, dang, I said 40. Did I say 44? I meant 34.
that sound more like it.
I said there and said Jamar got 40, and then I think I said DK got. I said he was the highest at 40, but I was saying 44 for DK. I meant 34, but I think I was saying 44. But anyway, so
150
I think he
divided
got.
by 5. So DK got 30 a year. So he probably looking anywhere. He probably trying to get 40. I would say he probably trying to get anywhere from like 35 to 40. And they probably disagreeing over $5 million.
That's what I'm saying because I think they were saying they think he want anywhere between like 36 and 38,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like they tripping on that like
Right.
pay the man and
And get
get
it
him
over
to
with.
camp. He just had a great season with your rookie quarterback. You gonna take time away from that? It don't make sense to
And
me.
this the time to pay it because you got a rookie quarterback. You
And
already identified. The only way I wouldn't have paid Terry is if I'm still not sure about Jaden Daniels. And the way everybody talk about Jaden Daniels, pay the man. You got it. You ain't got
and
to
you
pay him
know,
for another 2 to 3 years.
and then this is a situation that people be in though. Of well, we might can get not saying that they thinking this, but
Yeah.
sometimes it seems like teams be thinking like, we got Jaden, we can get it done without him.
See, there you go. Aha. Taste the soup.
And then you be in that, then you now you gonna be in the Lamar and Joe Burrow situation. They gonna be talking about you top 5, but you gonna
Hmm.
keep going home every year because you
And
ain't
now
got
you got Debo as your number one wide receiver.
and you
Wondering
don't
why
really
you
got no
keep
real
getting
help.
you wondering why you keep getting swept by the Eagles.
You and you don't got no real help. Everybody gonna keep saying, yeah, he ain't got no help though. But he better than this person, that person. He ain't got no help though. Hurts got help. But quit thinking you can get it done without the help.
Right. All I know is the GM know Howie know exactly what this team need, and we don't go without. We like spoiled kids at this point because we don't really know what it feel like to want for something and not get it.
Yeah, for sure.
At least not in the past 5 years. Now, obviously, we done went through droughts of not having weapons. We know what it feel like to not have cornerbacks and safeties and offensive and defensive coordinators. So I mean, this just our season.
If I'm an
This our
owner,
time.
if I'm an NFL owner, now obviously certain stuff take time, but I'm looking at I'm having my GM and people hired around the building. Hey, we got to study the Eagles GM. We got to
And
study
I'm
how.
sure they're doing that too.
Yeah, that's why I say it takes time
Mhm.
because I think people are doing that, but you can't. I don't think you could just implement stuff in like one season. So,
Nah,
later on down the road, we'll see people doing certain stuff, and I already hear they trying to take certain stuff away that Howie be doing, like you know what I'm saying. They talking about
like the money thing.
yeah, the money thing and a couple other things they was talking about. I was like, that's crazy because if we wasn't doing what we was doing, they wouldn't be talking about that.
Nope.
But hell, by the time they implement it, we'll have about 2, 3 more rings by then. So you can do what you want,
Hey, I'm cool with it because I
and
know it's
whatever
franchise.
they do, and whatever they do, how he gonna figure that out? He gonna figure
Mm-hmm.
out how to use that to the best of his ability. So I mean, at the end of the day, you probably just gonna be hurting other teams who can't even do nothing now.
Yep, because
So
right now he didn't perfect of whatever he doing now.
yeah,
So I'm sure he probably thinking in the future, well, if I
exactly.
can't backload these contracts like this, how can I?
Yeah.
So I'm sure
What's
he
the way around this?
and that's the benefit of something like so how we said about the Patriots for years, where you knew when Brady and Belichick was on the Patriots that they was guaranteed to win the division. Why is that so critical? Because you ain't it's franchises out here hoping they'll win the division.
Hmm.
They already know they're gonna win the division, so they working on what they gonna do when they get in the playoffs. That's two different mindsets. So
Hmm.
that's the mode that Howie in when it come to these numbers and contracts and whatever. So that's a huge plus.
Yeah, he always and then he already thinking ahead, like, all right, I gotta pay this guy this. So a lot of
Hmm.
his moves be based on like future stuff as well. Man, how it been this bad, man.
Man, all I can say is this is a hell of a time to be an Eagle, man. So I understand if you want to be a bandwagon. It's been great. Really, pretty much the whole time we've been Eagles fans, but especially the past 3 to 4 years, it's been turned up to the max.
No, past 3 to 4 years, who the quarterback was?
I believe his name Hurts. I think top two. You should look them up. But yeah, that's all we had this week. We appreciate y'all chopping it up with us this week. We just wanted to kick it. We haven't really been giving you day by day camp news just because of how we feel about camp news. So we just wanted to chop it up about the current state of the Eagles, and next week we're gonna hit you with some more flavor about what happened since times past. But appreciate y'all for tuning into the Down South Philly Show. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share this live out. We'll be back next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If y'all need some fantasy help, listen to me. Stay tuned on the Sports Lounge Media because we got the Marshall Experience coming up at 9 p.m. He gonna cover the AFC West. So if you haven't drafted yet, which most people haven't, go ahead and check that out. He's gonna go over the AFC West fantasy value, and we'll see you back next week. And as always, go Birds.
Go Birds, baby. Top two, and he ain't two.
That's all I know.